This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of... Hold on a second.
Boner plant.
Harvey Weinstein with the donation saying, boner plant.
Every time. Every time.
How dare you interrupt our intro? But thank you, Harvey Weinstein. You are wonderful, wonderful. Let's get back to that. Ready? Are you ready? Let's get back to the intro. Look at JBH's beautiful face over there. Let's do it.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York. That's right. UFC 228 Fight Week. Is Jon Jones coming back to headline UFC 230 MSG? And Triton Fights Chris Machi live with the MMA-Holes. Yes. What's up? I hope everyone is wonderful. Wonderful. What's going on? How about that? Harvey Weinstein jumping in with a donation to interrupt our intro over there. Jesse, what do you say about this?
I'm impressed. I think you might have topped Sean McKenzie. Has he topped Sean McKenzie?
I don't know.
Well, Sean McKenzie came in with Come On Ronda. So.
Yeah, you didn't come on Ronda, but a beautiful donation over there. And you know where the donations are at. Down below in the description, we got a whole plethora of donations. But we have a fantastic show for you tonight, jam-packed. We're going 2 hours strong. We're going to take some phone calls. We have Chris Machi live from Triton Fights. We have UFC 228 Fight Week. And we have Jon Bones Jones. Looks like he's coming back, but the question is he coming back
He's not
for...
coming.
Well, we're going to find out tonight. Is he coming back for UFC 230 to headline that? But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a special guest tonight live on the MMA-Holes, Chris Machi. What's going on, Chris?
Yo.
Welcome to the show.
What's going on, big guy? How you guys feeling?
We're doing great. What are we doing, Jesse?
Wonderful.
Uh-oh, super chat coming in. Hold on.
Bring on FORRRRRRRREHEAD and twerkers.
Oh boy. Vanship Man wants forehead and the twerkers. So is there any
twerkers? Oh, you told people about the twerkers?
I said there might be twerkers. I don't know.
Or Van Shipman wants Chris Machi to twerk.
Is that a twerker sitting next to you?
That might be a twerker right there.
Oh boy. Hit me with the ones in the chat if you want to see some twerkage tonight on the MMA-Holes on TGI.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get some donations first before you start asking for some twerking.
You got to pay to play.
Make the world go round.
That's right. Now, if you don't know, well, you better know. Chris Machi is the matchmaker for Triton Fights. Triton Fights number 9 is coming up. It's right around the corner. It's September 14th. 2018, and you better get your tickets because we've been to multiple events over there. They do a fantastic job. Jesse and myself we've sat cage side, and fantastic. I'm telling you, it's a spectacle. Chris, welcome back to the show. And now tell us, why should we be excited about this event?
We should be excited about this event because we took it away from just a conventional cage and an arena, and we're bringing theatrics into the show. We want to, for our promo videos, if anyone's been following Triton Fights and what we've been releasing media-wise, we brought the theatrics back into it. I wanted to create a platform where the amateur fighter could be a star before he's a pro fighter, and we think we're going to do that. We're taking a page out of WWE's book. So we're taking some of these guys' fight names, whether it be the Butcher, whether it be the Savage, and we're going to create a little bit of a backstory behind that, have some fun with the promo videos, and get the fans, really excited about what's going to come, out of the back and step into the cage.
I tell you what, I am really excited, and I just popped up a picture of this guy, Breton. He is massive. He is an absolute animal over here. Is he a flyweight? What weight class is this guy in?
Yeah, no, he's a flyweight, 125. Yeah, it's like his pinky finger weighs 125 pounds.
It's crazy.
Yeah, no, This guy's a collegiate wrestler. He kicks like he weighs 155 pounds. He's going to come in at about 265, I believe. We're flying his opponent in from Immokalee, Florida, I believe is where he lives. Flying his opponent in. A lot of his past opponents dropped out. People have even walked out of the weigh-ins before fighting him. So that caused him to shy away from MMA. And then he found Triton Fights. And I met him at the previous show, Triton Fights 8. And, I just let him know, listen, I have the largest network on the Northeast and beyond the Northeast of amateur fighters. And we have the best amateur fighters, possibly in the United States, that fight for us. And I promised him and I gave him my word I'd find him an opponent that was game, and I did. Brothers is no joke. He's 8 fights deep, and he's coming to bang, and the Savage is ready to eat. So, we're gonna see if he lives up to his name.
Yeah, I tell you what, this guy Savage seems like a fitting name for this man. He's very scary, and I could understand why no one wants to fight him. I get it. I wouldn't even want to be in the same room as this guy. So it looks like someone's going to sleep.
Quit at the weigh-ins.
Shit.
They've quit at the weigh-ins. The stare down. They were like, "Nah, I'm not. I'm just not doing it."
I tell you what. I've said this over and over again. Now, if you're on the East Coast, we're looking to get like a little tailgate going to this fucking thing. Bring everyone. Bring your friends, your family.
Oh, yeah.
This event over here, I've said it before, and I'm not saying it because we know Triton Fights, we know you over there, but I'm saying this because I'm pretty realistic with my opinion. I pretty much tell people if it's shit or if it's actually good. And so far, we're a couple of events in, and I have to say, other than you sitting me by the fucking fog machine, but now that's cleared up. That's cleared up. That's good. But other than that, I swear to God, this is a fantastic event. It doesn't really matter where you sit. You have a good seat anywhere. But man, the visual, the sound, everything that's going on, and the fights, the matches are top notch. How do you put on show by show a good match?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It starts by not being lazy. These promoters, especially in the amateur ranks, they're lazy, man. They got guys that they're not paying.
Super chat.
They'll just A-side, B-side guy.
Jon Jones looks like he's the goalie
they don't
on the
study
dart
him. They don't put the time in. I treat it like fight camp.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Donation came in, and they're saying Jon Jones looks like the goalie. What is he talking about?
Looks like the goalie on a dart team.
On a dart team. There you go. And we are talking about Triton Fights, but there is something going on. Before we get back into this whole Triton Fights thing over here, what are your thoughts on this whole Jon Jones situation? He's posting things all over the place. It looks like he might come back to the UFC, and maybe, just maybe, he might headline. Fuck. Super chat coming in. What we got?
Chris, it's Terry. I'm gonna kick the crap out of you.
Hey Terry, how you doing? Thanks for the donation.
That was nice.
Jon Jones, do you think
I'm a fighter before a promoter? So if you want to put that to the test, let me know.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's settle in Triton Fights. That would be a good time, right, Jess? What do you think?
Stick them both in the cage.
I'll take out Terry.
Yeah.
One clean swoop of my fisticles. What do you? Is Jon Jones coming back? What do you think, Chris?
I think if he does come back, he doesn't deserve to come back. Honestly, the parade that man has made, and the circus that he's made out of a sport that I love, I lost a lot of respect for him. He used to be one of my favorite fighters. I think that he's a physical specimen. I think that's a big reason why he wins a lot is his body type and him being able to use his body. But what he did as far as the abuse of cheating. I lost a lot of respect for the guy, and I think that there's a whole bunch of upcoming fighters that don't cheat, that live it through and through, that deserve a shot that he squandered.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jesse actually agrees with you a lot over there, and I agree too. I mean, the guy is a cheater. The guy, I mean, over and over again, how many times are you going to make the same mistakes, right? And it seems like he's doing it. It's a shame, though, when you see the talent of this guy, right? You see a guy that's probably arguably the greatest of all time, keeps on falling into these situations. Do you think when Jon comes back, do you think he's going to fall back into those situations?
I mean, I always want to be a guy that's, optimistic and give people second chances. But then, there's something to be said about human nature. And I think that as far as fame has destroyed him. I think it's the Chris Brown effect. We're seeing the first Chris Brown effect in MMA. I think the bright lights and the cameras, man, they get to you, they change you. The money changes people. I wish the guy the best, but I don't have much respect for him as an athlete because he was winning without cheating, and I don't think he needed to cheat.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to be getting back into the Jon Jones situation later on in the show, so stick around for that. We'll open up the phone lines as well. But let's talk about big lights, right? Not only do you have big lights at your event, but I've noticed this, and shout out to TygerLyfe Energy, delicious drink over there. Yeah. TygerLyfe Energy, who happens to be playing with us as well. You guys are wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful. Will there be throwing out cans of TygerLyfe at this event?
Will we be throwing cans of TygerLyfe at people?
Like Conor McGregor did at the press conference.
We're probably not going to cause any type of concussions, but there will be TygerLyfe. It will be cold, and it will be served with Tito's vodka.
Now, what's going on with the reality show? Is it a done deal? It looks like you guys wrapped up filming the reality show. When will this thing air? Is it picked up?
Listen, man. So something I've been really, really quiet about, and a big reason I was quiet about it is because I wanted to give you the first, shot at the, as far as from a media perspective, at the information. So basically, we produced a sizzle reel. A sizzle reel is basically a culmination of what the show will consist of. And, it gives basically a feeling of how the show is going to come across.
Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. We got a donation coming in. Hold on.
Take them belts off me.
Legend has it, at night Chris Mackey's eyebrows take an Uber to get to his hairline.
This isn't T-Man.
Chris, is it true that your eyebrows take an Uber to get to your hairline?
No, but I do take an Uber to whoever's mom's house it is, and I leave in an Uber too.
Well, there you go. That's a fantastic response. Now let's talk about this. Are you saying you're dropping news on the MMA-Holes live about this reality show?
Absolutely.
All right, I can't wait. Hold on. Let me get the edge of my seat. All right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, so basically, we produced a sizzle reel. So basically, this show. The reason why it differs from, a UFC series or even the Ultimate Fighter is it's going to be on how we actually build the show. It's following my partners, Frank from TygerLyfe, myself, and a select few fighters that are loyal to our brand that we see potential in them moving ahead into the pro ranks and doing well, being top 20 fighters in the world. It's a really in-depth look on how we created Triton Fights and the reason why people are saying that we're so different, because at the end of the day, we still have the cage in the middle of a room and there's still seats and we still sell tickets. So why is it that our formula is working, better than anybody on the Northeast? And we wanted to give people an inside look at why that's happening. And I really think that this show is going to be highly entertaining, highly dramatic, and once you see the premiere, I'm sure. But I think everybody, is in for and very excited to see a facet of MMA that they've never seen before on network.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this reality show. Now, are you by a Wi-Fi router, or can you sit on the router? It looks like the signal is a little bad. I'm not sure if, I'm not sure if we're losing you right now, but you're frozen. Let it go.
You're good.
Oh, hold on a second. It looks like we're back in business. The signal's just breaking up a little bit over here. You're a little choppy. I'm not sure if you're on Wi-Fi or on data, but might have to move positions.
Give me 1 second, bud.
We might need some twerking in the meantime. Right, Jess?
I'm good without it.
Wonderful.
All right. Here we go. Yeah, so we got Chris Machi live on the MMA-Holes September 14th.
Are we back on? Are we good?
All right, I do hear you. Hold on a second. We got a donation coming in. Let's see if we get that clear.
And you're going to need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Chris Mackey, it's Darren Tribilkic from King of the Cage. I'm gonna bitch smack you when I see you next and run your promotion into the ground.
Move.
Try to step to this bitch.
Holy shit.
Wow, someone's got a...
I love competition, big boss.
Yeah, so Chris, who is this guy?
I'm curious. What's going on with Terry?
Who's this?
Chris?
Terry,
big boss.
Tribblecock? Who is this guy?
I don't know, but if my last name was Tribblecock, I'd have a problem too.
Oh my God.
From King of the Cage.
What's King of the Cage? Are you familiar?
Well, Nico Montano has like an entire team over there.
Yeah?
King of the Cage.
Yeah, I'm not quite familiar with King of the Cage over there, but Terry Tribblecock is coming in. Now, Chris, I don't know, we lost your visuals. I think I still hear you. This is going very well.
Are you good?
No, I don't see anything right now. Your visuals are gone.
He got scared of Terry Tribblecock.
Yeah, maybe the Tribblecock got you.
I didn't get scared of somebody named Tribblecock.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Well, we do hear you, so we can continue this the audio version, and hopefully that your visuals will come back.
My camera's on, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It just conked out. So when we were talking to you, it was very glitchy. It looks like your internet connection is not very strong, so it's like kind of in and out and fuzzy. So we hear you, but we definitely don't see you now. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about this event now. You're saying there's ladies at this thing. What are we talking about here? We're going to have some flashy girls showing up at this event? Or are they going to be dancing? Are they going to be throwing T-shirts out there? What can we expect from these young ladies?
Yeah, man. So combined, these young ladies have a following of over 2 million. Some of them are published models. Some of them are, high-end bottle girls, at the most prestigious clubs in New York, AM Southampton. So they're just gonna bring a different, essence to the show. I saw a lot of guys on my last show, and the men will come where the pretty ladies are, and we just wanted to add that kind of vibe to it, where it's not just a cage fight; it's a social experience. Everybody could get, could have a good time, no matter if you're a hardcore MMA fan or you just like watch fights here and there, anybody that's tired of the same old nightclub scene, I wanted to bring that kind of facet to MMA and bring it to the forefront of pop culture that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exciting. That's exciting news over there. The show is good as it is, and any addition that you guys add on to this show is even more. It's just added bonus over here. Now, we have a friend of the show named Daniel Murphy who goes to all of your events. He's an MMA hole. He rocks his MMA-Holes t-shirt every time he goes there. And Daniel Murphy and his girlfriend, I forgot her name again. Holy, she's going to kill me.
Michelle.
Michelle. I'm sorry, Michelle. I apologize.
I didn't forget you, Michelle.
We love you, Michelle. They sneak booze in, by the way, too. Just keep an eye out.
Snitch it.
But, I wouldn't know about that. But they are great people, and they're talking about having a tailgate before your event. So we're going to try to get a bunch of MMA holes to show up outside, cause a scene, and bring some ruckus inside. What is the main event for this card? Is it the big guy?
Nah, the main event is going to be something that I'm proud of, too, is going to be Paul Timothy versus Dylan Montello.
Okay. Paul Timothy.
The Butcher.
Tell me a little bit about these guys.
Last fight, he defeated Andrew Stock, made him, gave him his first defeat in the amateur ranks, and he's coming back for war. I talked to that kid. He's also a TygerLyfe sponsored athlete, beyond average sponsored athlete. That kid is he's going to be a top, I'd say, 10 fighter within the next 5 years in the world. I
tell you what, you have some impressive guys coming out of Triton Fights, and we got a donation coming in.
Hey, Chris Mackey, bite my sub, you fag.
Holy shit, Jared Fogel. I mean, I can't even believe this. Jared Fogel jumps in. What do you think about that? He says, bite his sub, you fag.
Poor network connection.
So apparently, I don't know. There's a poor network connection. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe, you know what? Let me try to call you. Let me try to call you again. I'm going to try to call you again through Skype and see if we can get a better connection. All right. All right, so let's get Chris Machi back on the horn over here. This is going very well. Jesse, what do you think so far?
This is great. Probably one of the best interviews we've had.
Yes. Well, here's Anonymous.
Come take them belts off me.
When Jones brought his evidence forward after going under oath, he still claimed tainted sup. He brought his evidence consisting of all 12 sups he was taking. All 12 were tested, laboratory tested. All 12 were negative for tainted sup.
So it looks like someone is in favor of Jon Bones Jones, saying they were negative, these supplements. We're going to get into detail with that. Thank you for the donation. We got a 2-hour show. We're going to get Chris Machi back on the horn over here.
And he says the forehead is very powerful with this one.
Let's see if we get Chris in.
He's missing all your good jokes, guys. It's okay.
Yes.
I'm writing them down.
All right, here we go. Party room. All right, we're back in the party.
Are we better?
Oh, hey. All right, we're back in business. There we go. Just turn your phone sideways and we'll get this party going again. All right, so
My bad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, my internet router is right here. So
that is a little weird. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know.
That thing? Look at this thing.
What is so? What we got going on there? What's this? That's a big TV.
Got a little 65-inch curved.
Oh, nice. So it's curved too.
It's a little curved.
Nice. Good stuff over there. All right. So
Yo, what's up with that guy from King of the Cage? I'll smack the shit out of him, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about, to be honest with you. Would you?
Tell him to get a new last name. He's a weirdo.
Would you fight? Now I know you've trained. Would you fight another promoter on one of your cards?
Absolutely.
Wow, look at
He
that.
made me money. Absolutely.
See, Jesse? What do you think of that?
More importantly, was that a router or a clock that you just showed?
Hold on a second.
That was a router.
No, I'm just wondering because Greg Adam Blaines decided to make a very fair point in the chat.
Jesse has a couple of notes from the chat room. Let's dip into the chat room over here. Jesse, what is the chat saying to Chris Machi?
Brian Merger wants to know how much your TV was.
How much was my TV?
Sure.
It was enough. Believe me.
Are you stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi?
Yes, I'm Puerto Rican, bro. What the fuck do you think?
Wonderful.
Would you like to fart in gay agent's mouth?
I would not. I don't know who that is. I would not want to do that.
Drunk Savage would like to know if you would book Logan Paul.
Oh, what about that? What do you
But
think
I
about
booked Logan Paul. Hell yeah. I tie that man's shoes. He made me that amount of money.
It's crazy.
Van Shipman wishes that you would replace Dana White.
Oh, look at that.
Listen, that's my goal in life. I respect Dana White, but I'm a better dressed, better looking version of him.
Well, what else we got, Jess?
Stalio 2 bets that you have a tiny penis.
What do you think, baby?
Nah.
Whoa, trouser snake. Holy shit.
I ain't worried about it. I'm Puerto Rican again.
Marky Wahoo would like to know if you are related to Ricky Martin or did you just raid his closet?
He's my uncle.
Okay. Drunk Savage says, be honest, they're strippers.
So where did you
All
find...
my friends are strippers.
You know, I was going to say, now we went to your event with Cans. Cans is one of the sponsors, right? I see they're the ring girls, and then they go back and they wait tables at the after party over there. These girls hustle.
They working.
Damn, man.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about, and they're pretty
I love
girls.
those girls at Cans, man. They're a really good team, honestly. Shout out Paul from Cans. If you guys are ever in the Westbury area, stop in. They have the nicest staff, some really good food. Shout out Paul, man. He's a good guy.
They do have good food.
They really
Great
do.
Food.
Yeah, we stuffed their face. And
Yeah.
I was telling the guys in the chat and the girls that if you go to Triton Fights, you rub elbows with some elite UFC fighters as well. And even at the after party, they hang out. So tell me about some of these UFC fighters that you can see at one of these events.
Listen, honestly, I think in New York, man, I respect all those guys. And all those guys show nothing but love to me. Ally Quinta, he was there at the last after party. Aljamain Sterling was there at the last after party. And the fights. At the fights, I get Rude Boy Randy Brown. Shout out my Rude Boy. Representing for the Jamaicans, heavy. Andre Harris fighting for the PFL. Championship. He always shows love. Shout out Andre. Andre actually shouted us out on the Ariel Hawani show. Which I know is a big buddy of yours.
Yeah,
and showed us a lot of love. So I appreciate all the fighters. Ryan LaFleur, super supportive. Rick Schaefer, pro kickboxer. There's so many high level UFC, Bellator, PFL, champions that really do show us nothing but love and respect, because they know that we're coming from a good place. We're doing this for the culture. You know what I mean? We produced, a reality show out of our budget. We're rolling out a 25-foot billboard truck to fill these stands for these.
Hold your thought on that billboard truck. I want to bring that up. Anonymous comes in.
No, Chris. That was not defending Jones. That was debunking his BS claims.
Oh.
For the record of his career, and steroids boost vision, speed, strength, have aggression, psychological, neurological, mood stabilizing advantages which contribute to fight IQ.
There you go.
Anonymous getting deep over
Well,
here.
Anonymous, thank you for the donation and apologies for getting it wrong over there. And we will get into this Jon Jones situation, so hang tight. But I have on the screen right now the billboard. So what is this billboard about on Instagram at Triton Fights? You have a giant truck with a billboard of this event. This must have cost a couple of bucks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it did, man. And this is just an example. And, you know, like that guy, like that weirdo from King of the Cage, I hope he's not involved in King of the Cage, because actually I respect King of the Cage a lot. You know, that was a promotion that, you know, I came up, you know, knowing about, and I respect what they do. So I hope he's not involved at all and he was just pump faking. But if he is, he could go fuck himself.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, you know, this is just an example of, you know, us dumping money back into our business and back into the fighters. You know, they work their asses off in fight camp and to sell tickets, you know, to sustain what we do. So we just wanted to, you know, show them that, you know, we're not afraid to take money out of our own pockets to you know, make sure that they're fighting in front of 1,000 people like last time, the time before that, and ever since I can remember, really.
Well, I got to say this. You guys definitely put the money into the show, and it shows. It definitely shows. At Westbury, the space over there, it's always a packed crowd. You got some good food, you got some good drinks, and you have some really good fights over there. Rubbing elbows with elite UFC athletes, and you're seeing future stars. I noticed this, too, on Instagram, that you got some guys fighting on the Bellator card coming up over here. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that as well.
So the entire prelim card, basically.
Hold on. Before you get going with that, Vanship Man.
Let's get a long look at Forehead's girl. She hot.
Okay, that's a, you know what, fair point. Yeah, let's get a good look.
Say hi. Say hi.
All right, screenshot that and make sure you enjoy yourself. All right, now your girlfriend has she had 85 people jerking off to her at once, or no? It's the first time. All right, everyone, drop your pants. All right. What time's the twerk? No. All right, let's get back to this over here. The Bellator. Thank you, Vanship Man, by the way. So you got Fedor versus Sonnen, big card coming up, and I see you got some boys on there.
Yeah, so, like, I'd say it has to be almost the entire prelim card is Triton Fights champs. Champions of Triton Fights. You know, you got Ryan Castro, multiple weight Triton Fights champ. Jeremy Puglia, Triton Fights champ, defended his belt 4 times. Dennis Bazooka, Triton Fights champ. Who else you got on that card? You got a couple other guys that I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but you know, a lot of that card is Triton Fights champs for a reason. You know, they know that Triton Fights is the top level before the pros of the amateurs, so you know they're smart. They're getting the good talent. I'm really excited for that prelim card actually, because it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, every time we go, it's from top to bottom. It's good fights, absolutely, really good fights over here. Is Ryan Chirena on this card, this one, or is he sitting this one out?
Yeah, so unfortunately, I mean, so he sat this one out. He was super active, and you know he was going to fight, and you know he even asked like, you know, look, you really need me to fight a fight, and I was like, nah, man, you know, like you're super active. You're one of the most active welterweights in the AMB ranks on the Northeast. Take the time off. You know what I mean? You know, he's still training like an animal. That kid just eats and just lives what he does. But you know, I told him to take some time.
Yeah, well, it's super promising. You like keep an eye out for this kid, and man, oh man, he's delivered. So yeah, why not burn yourself out, right? Do it the right way. And I've noticed that's what you do with the fighters on your roster over there. I mean, these guys, you know, you treat them well, right? You treat them well. You don't try to overwork these guys. If they're ready to go, you have them fight. If they're not, you don't have them fight. But how do you get these matchups? I mean, these matchups really work out well where it's fairly evenly matched. How do you put those fights together so well?
Well, so some of those guys are my boys, you know, where I've shared mat time with them, you know, a lot of them. And then others I study, you know, I talk to their coach. I get a feeling for who they are. I'm very personable, you know. You know, I'm not scared to talk to anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. You know, you can be the baddest, you know, doesn't matter. You know, I bring a persona to the table. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, a lot of those guys, I know their personalities, and then I study their techniques. I study, you know, how they move, how they talk, how they walk, and you know, it's a lot more than just A-side, B-side guys, and that's what these matchmakers don't understand. If you don't know me as a person, how are you going to know me as a fighter? You know, a lot of these guys, you know, they'll call me 3 o'clock in the morning just to talk or invite me out to, you know, wherever, their birthday party. You know, I know some of these guys' mothers. You know what I mean? So, you know, these are friends of mine. You know, that I do care about. Yeah, I send you in a cage to do battle with another man, but you know, we're not in the game of tennis. You know, and if we were, I wouldn't be a tennis matchmaker. That's not what I do. You know, so. You know, it comes organically to me because our relationships are real. You know, my relationships with a lot of these fighters are real. You know what I mean? And I genuinely do care about them. You know, even if I fly a guy in from Florida or Colorado or Hawaii, it's not going to be to A-side, B-side guy and the guy that I'm flying in be a bum and, you know, he's going to get scrubbed. You know, I'm looking for, you know, the specific styles, you know, so. You know, I really do my homework and I do the groundwork, and that's the only difference between me and everybody else is that, you know, when they're sleeping, I'm working.
You got Chris Machi live from the MMA-Holes back again, matchmaker for Triton Fights, and number 9 is what's coming up September 14th. Check it out, TritonFights.com. There's a link in the description. And now you spoke about some of your boys. All right, I need you to spill the beans. Who is Gotti fighting next? We need to know. I know you know who Gotti's fighting next. Who is this man fighting?
I'll keep it 100 with you, man. If I did know, I have an idea, but if I did know the exact person, I wouldn't tell you, man. You know, it's just that's the relationship that me and Jon got, man. You know, I'd never go behind his back and leak something like that, man. I love you guys though at the MMA-Holes, but I'm a loyal guy. You know what I mean? I was cut from that cloth, the same cloth that he's cut from. And
you don't want to sleep with the fishes. Let's be honest.
Nah, I mean, hey, I grew up with the same type of people that he did, man. So it's
right.
Cold, man.
Well, listen, I hear a little birdie says there's an opponent, but it's not announced yet. It's not, it's there. And when we're trying to scoop, we're trying to dig for it. So we're gonna get to the bottom of this, or
I hear you, man. Get your shovel out. I'm the wrong hole, though.
Yeah. All right. We had to try. All right. So here's the thing, Jesse. You excited about this event? Triton Fights number 9.
I got to be honest with you. Triton Fights is probably the one organization that I'm the most excited. I love all of the organizations. I think they're really great. But this is probably the one that I've had the most fun watching. So, yeah, I'm extremely excited for Triton Fights.
And it's not... It's not the TygerLyfe talking. She's actually speaking the truth.
Like legit, I think, and part of it was being right there, like so up close, and being able to like see the fighters right in front of your face. It's insane. It's crazy. And I noticed even the seats that were not cage side are like still amazing seats. So of course I'm excited for that one.
Get your tickets. How can we get these tickets on TritonFights.com?
www.tritonfights.com. You know what I mean? Just buy them soon because the fire marshal knows my name. He does not like me. That man does not like me.
No,
I'm putting people in the broom closet right now.
It always is packed. It is. And the fans stay the whole card. That's another thing, too, that I've noticed. A lot of these local events, the fans, they leave. Like their guy or girl is over, and they go back and they chill with their fighter, and that's it. And this fight, these cards, I've noticed they stick around to the very, very end. So kudos to you for putting that together each and every time.
Man. We even have we have other promotions reaching out to us, willing to hire us to market their to provide marketing material for them and stuff. And it's really humbling, and we appreciate people willing to work with us. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like us, but they probably own a MMA promotion.
Yeah, jealousy's a bitch. Well, a lot of people don't like us either. Welcome to our party.
Yeah, exactly.
Heaven.
Especially a Spanish kid from the hood. They don't want to see that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I tell you what, Jesse has a little Spanish.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's totally cool.
She's Mexicana. Yeah. Adios mio. All right, so Chris, I love the vest. Is that a signature? Is that a trademark of you over there? The sleeveless vest, the denim vest.
Yeah, I mean, I am they call me the denim cowboy.
Okay.
So that no one calls me that. I'm kidding. I'm mad that you.
I thought about it for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
I was about to take my pants off. It was getting weird.
No one calls me that.
Are you and Frank going to be wearing the denim vests during fight week together?
Yeah. No, we're at the fight. We'll be wearing matching denim vests, and we'll be doing a duet in the cage intermission. So
And shout out
Jesse's
to
our
TygerLyfe.
backup dancer, so don't smile too much.
Yeah. She's got her go-go shorts on.
You'd have to pay me first. There's no way I'm just going to jump in
Yeah,
there.
she's expensive. All right, trust me, I know. All right, so Chris, thank you so much for coming on. Last words.
She's expensive, too.
Whoa, look at that. Oh, my God. Is your girlfriend going to be at the event? I'm assuming yes, right?
Yeah, she'll be there. She'll be there with, a lot of her friends. Some of her friends are single.
No.
So, guys, shoot
you
your
go.
shot,
That's right.
There's nothing to it but to do it.
That's right.
That's it.
All right, Chris, last words to the MMA-Holes. Why should they go to this event? We know how they should go to this event, but give us a last thoughts.
Well, if you check on our Instagram, you'll see the story of how I came across the Savage. I took a very, very long, hot trip through South America. I met up with a very dangerous individual, and I was able to obtain the most savage individual, on that coast. So go to Instagram, Triton Fights, click on the promo video for the Savage and follow the story. And also follow the story of Fight Life. We're going to be premiering at this show, and I'm telling you, it's going to change the landscape, and we're going to get a lot more calls the next time I'm on MMA-Holes from that guy wanting to beat me up because we're closing his doors too.
There you go. All right, Chris, thanks for coming on. Looking forward to seeing the event and the reality show. And go get some stank on the hang low. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro. Got you, brother.
All right, we'll talk soon. Be good. All right, there he is. Chris Machi on the MMA-Holes. Check it out. This man will be fighting at his event. It is Triton Fights number 9. We have a link in the description to their website. TritonFights.com is their website. And it is...
Wonderful.
Chris is a good guy.
Wonderful.
What do you think about that?
He's a good guy. It's funny because when we first met, he thought that I hated him. Remember that? He came up to me and he was like, what did he say? You're a tough shell to crack or something like that? Because I wouldn't smile. But it had nothing to do with him. So, yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. He's cool.
Let me know in the chat if you're on the East Coast, all right? Come on. What are we doing here? Triton Fights is the place to be. We've covered a couple of these events over here. We'll have some T-shirts as well. So come by. Say hello. We'll slap a wristband on you. We'll give you a T-shirt. And check out the MMA-Holes over there. We'll have a couple of drinks. We'll kick back with our friends. And if you're coming to Triton Fights, let's do this. Let's party, right? Let's party.
Let's party.
Like it's September. What's the date?
Did I say it right?
September 14th. There we go. September 14th, Triton Fights.
Someone
All right.
Screenshot Chris Machi's frozen face. Make a caption.
So the reason why we were late today, and check us out on Podbean as well. We are doing the audio version of this, Podbean. Yeah, we couldn't get the Hangouts working with him, and then we tried to get Skype going, and Skype was a complete disaster. So shout out to all those video chats. You can fucking lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got 45 likes over here, and we just got started. So let's do this. 20 likes.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20.
Play it again.
20 likes, 20 likes.
I've got fucking 20 likes. Sing.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes.
Hope the dislikes die of leprosy. Now, do you think, Jesse, that person I was donating before was legit, or was it a troll?
I definitely think it was a troll. Ann H popped her head in there and said that she's actually familiar with the guy who does the King of the Cage organization. Says he's nothing like that.
All right. Well, shout out to whoever did that. By the way, I'm going to make an announcement. We're going to talk about Jon Jones, and then we're going to go into topics. We're going to open up the phone lines. A swole, sexy show tonight, Jesse. High five. Okay. Hold on a second. 80s fist grab cam.
Wonderful.
What do you guys think of our ugly couch? We have a...
I got to get the gray one.
Look at that thing. Can't see it on Podbean. But this is the crazy casting couch. Now, there's a story behind this thing. It's a disaster.
Can I tell the story, actually? Actually, it's not a crazy story. It's just... No, it's funny, though.
It's a crazy
because
couch.
Chris picked it.
Yes. You said I wasn't going to say Chris picked it. And now you're just like, Chris picked it.
Oh, I wasn't going to say.
That's all right. Go ahead. I did pick it, actually.
Oh, my apologies.
I picked this
couch. I'm sorry.
I'm proud of this couch.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me show you how proud I am of this couch.
Well, he's so proud that he wanted to take a vote on it.
Yes. You can't see this on Podbean, so you better watch us on the MMA-Holes.com or on YouTube. But this thing is disgustingly ugly. It's really ugly, and it clashes with everything in here. And I love it. I love the fact that it clashes with everything. We have another color.
You popped the...
We have another color. Shout out to IKEA for being a bunch of cunts. But we do have another color. It's a flat gray. And if it really bothers you guys, we can change it. Or you can lick my balls.
Lick my balls.
Jesse, what do you think?
I actually like... You know what's funny? I kind of wasn't the biggest fan of it at first. And then when you showed it to me and you convinced me, I was like, all right, whatever. Because I'm not the kind of person to want to stay in a store for too long. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, all right, get it. I don't give a fuck. Let's just get out of the store. And it actually doesn't look bad. Like,
looks fantastic.
I don't mind it. It looks pretty good. So props to you.
That's right.
that was so bad.
We have orange walls, right? When we changed our studio, we have orange walls. So go to the MMA-Holes on Instagram, and someone else wants to have orange walls.
What up, friends? Robin Black here, home studio, I guess. We're gonna repaint these walls. I'm thinking orange.
What the fuck, Robin Black? Fuck you, Robin Black. Do we have...
Fuck you, Robin Black.
Fuck you, Robin.
Fuck you, Robin Black.
What the fuck?
Wonderful.
How dare you, Robin Black, you fucking cunt. Like, everyone's like, oh, why would you paint this orange? Oh, I'm like, I want to be different, right? We want to have the most unique-looking show, the most ridiculous-looking show. And what happens?
The moment the MMA-Holes does something different, it's no longer considered different because everyone else is doing it.
I swear to God, we are trendsetters here. Everything we do gets copied.
Everybody wants to be the MMA.
Suck my cock. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's talk about Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Jon Jones.
Let's talk about Jon Jones, baby. Let's talk about... I don't know how to make the song good.
That's okay. It's wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right. So on Instagram, Jon Jones has been posting a lot of shit over here. He's been talking some smack to Jon Jones. He's talking some smack to himself. He's talking some smack to DC as usual, Johnny Bones Jones. And he's been posting a lot of videos of him back out there throwing hands. And this one really caught my eye, okay? GAT Supplements has basically signed him, his TygerLyfe, I guess. And shout out to TygerLyfe Energy, ARN Installation, and Duplex Entertainment. You are all wonderful.
Wonderful.
But it says the king has returned, right? We are pumped to announce the return of the king, Johnny Bones Jones, to Team GAT. Now, there's been a lot of speculation. There is no headlining fight for UFC 230. It's just blank. It's empty.
Yeah.
Nothing over there. We need a belt on there, right? Is Daniel Cormier going to come back soon? Well, I don't know because he's on vacation and he's just fucking eating shit. But what if they threw him a shitload of money and say fight Jon Jones at heavyweight? Or what if Jon Jones comes back and fights Gustafsson for the rematch?
Chat's not moving.
What happened?
Chat.
Oh, fuck you, chat. Look at this shit. My fucking chat's not working. What the? Oh.
Let's talk about... I'll entertain you guys. Ready?
Yeah, talk to him.
Somewhere...
No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
Let's talk about sex.
No, stop singing that song. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can fix this. No, talk about Jon Jones. That's what we got to talk about.
Fixing the chat.
What the fuck are you doing? All right, the chat's fixed. All right, so Jon Jones. What do you think, Jesse? Is he coming back or no? You're saying Jon Jones is not coming back.
Okay, take it back. Jon Jones may very well be coming back. It would not surprise me because Jon Jones is not only a cheater and a liar, but he is a privileged, spoiled fighter who gets anything he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. So yes, he will be returning to the UFC. I do not think his first fight will be against Daniel Cormier unless it is for an exceptional amount of money, as you had mentioned.
Well, fuck Daniel Cormier. Jon Jones is coming back, right? And there is an open spot at UFC 230. I really do believe he's filling one of those spots. Now, I'm not saying Daniel Cormier is a guaranteed, right? But he's talking a lot of shit. It looks like he's trying to bait him into something. But I really believe that Jon Jones is going to be back. How about Cain Velasquez, Jon Jones versus Cain Velasquez? How about Jon Jones versus Gustafsson Part 2? The first one was fantastic. There are a lot of fights you could throw out there, and of course, you could do the trilogy with DC at heavyweight, which is where I would like to see that, since DC lost twice, but really once because the last one was struck off of his record. So I think he is coming back. Jesse, we polled the MMA-Holes. I love to say poll, right? You go to the channel, check out our community. Let's see what the update is on our community board. And we polled the MMA-Holes, and 77% of the MMA-Holes say they want to see Jon Jones back
Bum, bum, bum.
to headline UFC 230.
Yes.
23% says no. They say no, no, no. Now, this is shocking, right? This is shocking because this is a man who's gotten into a lot of trouble. Has made multiple mistakes over and over and over again.
And not just inexcusable mistakes. These are mistakes that he should have learned from and bettered himself with, not continue to make over and over again.
Yeah, well, yeah, he is making these mistakes. Now, the question is he going to make another one?
Yes.
Probably. Let me know in the chat, will he make another one? Yes or no? But surprising, 77% of the MMA-Holes say that Jon Jones, they want to see Jon Jones back to headline UFC 230. So what does this mean to me? This means that we are desperate. We are absolutely desperate. This is the longest the UFC's gone in a while with not having a main event. There's no other title fight on this card. It's just a fucking... And the card's good. You know, it's got some good fights on it. It's got Souza versus Branch. Romero versus Costa is not even on this card. What the fuck? That's scrapped. I don't even know why it's UFC.com. They're just... Do you think that the UFC is just fucked right now? Do you think they don't know what to do with this?
No, I think they have a lot of things in mind, but they're not going to tell us.
But why are they not updating this?
Because it's not until November 3rd, and they don't want to just spoil the party too early.
I think they're shitting their pants.
I don't think
I think the guy they're banking on is Jon Jones, right? You can't have the Brock Lesnar thing happen, right? Because it's too soon for that. I think it's next year. He can be back.
January 6th.
So that's out. And DC's probably hungry for that fight, right? But Jon Jones versus Gustafsson really sticks out because Alexander Gustafsson says, I'll take anything. I'll take anything to get back on, and I will fight at UFC 230. So I think Jones-Gustafsson might be the front runner. Let me know in the chat what you think. Is Jon Jones going to come back and fight at UFC 230? And who will he fight if he does come back? But I think they're alarmed. This is really weird how they're not even taking this fight off the card here, and it's not happening. Chat, what do you got to say?
Isaiah Moore says that would be better than Rousey KO Drunk Savage. Staley 02 says maybe Logan Paul will headline. Complex Black Widow Spider says Marky Wahoo, it's the greatest show going. The MMA-Holes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Nick Lyle to Complex Black Widow Spider says if you think trace amounts is the same, you're wrong. Drunk Savage says it's Dahmer versus Fat Time. Gay Agent, I like to crap inside people's work shirts. Marky Wahoo says I'll give a little teaser of the second verse. Steve Johnson says gay agent gives ring around the collar a whole new meaning.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Me versus Jesse headline says Warrior 21. Nick Lyle says Jones' record speaks for itself. He'll come back and destroy everyone.
Oh, by the way, let me just say something really quick. I keep on forgetting to do this. Tony, whoever Tony is, I don't know who Tony is. I don't know if it's Complex Dianetics or who it is. But shout out to Tony. I mean, you are consistent in the community. I don't know
Whoever
what's going on.
are.
I don't know if it's 2 people, 7 people, 1 per. I have no idea. But the fact that you hang out with us, but you hang with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
Shout out to you. But BLT did win, and we do have to talk about actually the last picture too. They have to take a vote, and that thing, the orgasm phase. But BLT donated his wristband to you. You get the wristband. So Tony, slide into my DMs at the MMA-Holes, or you can hit us up at the MMA-Holes.com. That's probably the best way to get to us. The MMA-Holes.com. Thank you, Tony. Or thank you, BLT. Fuck you. All right, what else we got in that chat?
Isaiah Wood says he has multiple personalities. Tony is love, says Drunk Savage. Van Shipman says Woodley versus Till will have poor to moderate pay-per-view buys. Quiet Homo says Steve Johnson. Annie says Tone E is very consistent. Sean Hart says Tone E. Blaze Bywater says, what up, MMA-Holes, you fucks? Oh, man-holes, my apologies. You fucks.
What up?
Brian Rogers says, hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
By the way, down below in the description, if you didn't hear it the first time around, Jesse sings one of our new donations, our newest donation.
I do?
You sure fucking
What?
do.
What donation is that?
Well, that donation is the Kiss Laura Sanko donation down below.
What?
So if you want to hear her sing that, tickle the donation button down below. And thank you for the previous donators. All right, so we're going to open up phone lines after the topics and all that shit gets down. We have a lot to get to tonight, but this fight is this weekend. Tyron Woodley versus... I tried to catch her. She was making a goofball face, and I tried to get it on her, but I couldn't. I was too slow.
Not fast enough.
Too fucking slow. All right. You stood me up at the altar, Jesse, says Warrior.
I'm sorry, Warrior 21.
How
My
dare
apologies.
you. Anyway, we got 91 peeps watching. Welcome to the show. If you're new to this, slap a sub. If you're not, you can lick our balls.
Lick my balls.
Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till. Montano versus Shevchenko. Abraham Lincoln versus, what the fuck? Why is this thing frozen? Versus
Abraham
Davis.
Lincoln, Magomed Sharipov.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to just call him Honest Abe.
Abraham Magomed Sharipov.
That's right. Andrade versus Kovalkiewicz. And Price versus Al Hassan. Well, I think the card's a fun one. You got Aljo on this card as well. You got Carla coming back. You got Jesse going, ooh. We got Jesse.
Andrade versus Kovalkiewicz. Who do you have?
I tell you, well, I can't tell you until the
Tell
night
me.
of.
And just this one, just tell us.
No, I have no. Honestly, this one here,
That's
I'm gonna
such a
wait
difficult-
until the night of the fight. Yeah, I said that on Monday. That's a tough one right there. Let me know in the chat who you have. But yeah, that's a difficult one. We don't know what Carolina's gonna show up anymore.
I want to say Andrade, but KK's like she's like a Spitfire. That one.
Spitfire.
Yeah, like.
Yes, that's right.
Wonderful.
But look at the prelims. The prelims are banging. This is a good prelims over here. You got Dotson versus Rivera. Rivera took a step back. You got Aljo versus
Sterling.
Stamen, which this could be fight of the night, by the way.
Why is Sterling still on the?
Keep an eyeball on this fight. Yeah, I know. Aljo coming off a big win. Esparza, which I thought won the last fight.
That's going to be a good
Suarez.
one.
A lot of Espanol inside cage, right? Yes.
Actually, it's going to be a really good one.
That's a cool fight. But yeah, I think the card's good. The problem is it going to earn any money for the UFC? The pay-per-view, it's going to be brutal.
You know what, though? They've got the fights to make up for it. So even if the main event's not something that everybody wants to see, there's got to be one fight in there that people are going to want to see. It could help. They've got some pretty decent fights in there.
The numbers are going to be horrific. They're going to be horrific, yeah. They're going to be bad. I really do believe they're going to be horrible. But I like the card. I actually do like it. This is by far not the worst pay-per-view. Yes, Tyquil Woodley is at top, but it's still a fascinating fight against Darren Till. You know, it really is a fascinating fight. I still got to go with Woodley on this one. I'm still leaning in the wood, and Jesse's still leaning in the till. The tills have eyes. It's close together. But yeah, I think it's good. What do you guys rate this card? Let me know in the chat. 1 out of 10. 10 being the best.
You're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Putting 1,000 on Shevchenko. Never been so confident in my decision since the last time the next coming of Jesus Christ Dylan Donnie's fought.
Thank you, Vlad. And yeah, Dylan Dennis, I mean, he's a lock in every fight, right, Jesse?
Yeah.
So Shevchenko is a minus, 1,400. Oh my God. For the love of God. Plus 850. Oh my God. Man, oh man, look at that fucking lopsided odds.
Shevchenko's
so if you bet
$1,000,
if you bet $1,000, you'll win like what, $10? How's that work? Jesus Christ, what a lopsided! Imagine Montano. I kind of want to see Nico win. You know?
Do you really?
Yeah.
Why?
All right. Here's my thing with Shevchenko. I think Shevchenko is fantastic.
She's great.
I think she's a brilliant fighter. She's tough.
She's strategic.
She put me through 2 Amanda Nunes fights, right? And I know it takes 2 to tango, but I hated both of them. So I hope Nico wins. And the reason why I want Nico win,
but what did
she's
you
prettier
not like
in
about Nunes Shevchenko? What did you not like about which one?
I don't dislike Shevchenko. I couldn't care if she was.
But
the
you
champ.
don't like Nunes.
No, I don't.
So maybe that's why you just didn't like the Nunes Shevchenko fights. So you have
No,
a
I mean,
bias.
well, she beat up Holly Holm, which is huge. That was a huge win for Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Shevchenko going up to 125. I don't know. I'm going to be rooting hard for Montano. Now, I would never bet. I mean, you know what? With with odds like that, you might as well throw a couple of bucks on Nico, right? Just to win some money. I mean, I understand why they're lopsided. I get it. I get it. And I can't spin it to be like, yeah, Nico's going to win. I kind of just want to say, yeah, Nico's going to win. But I don't know. I don't see it. 5-2-0 versus a 15-3-0 assassin Valentina. That's going to be an interesting fight over there. Chat room, what do you think about this fight? Let me know. What do we got going on, Jess?
Sean Hart says, I had to taste with Kurt Cobain. Top that. Gay Agent says, Valentina is uglier than Woodley. He is hot. Stalio 2, I never smoked weed with Willie again. Kanoto74 says, Bullet is way too elite for Nico. Just watch how the spar ad Nico looks live. Corky from that old show. Wheezing336 says, I let Shevchenko use me as target practice. Drunk Savage says, Valentina can choke me out anytime. Stalio 2 says, I had sex with Francis Bean Cobain.
Ooh, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Gay Agent says, no one knows who my lord really is. Powerful Wheat says, 2 joints. Steve Johnson says, shut up, faggot. Isaiah Moore says, Till is making Woodley a lot more money on this card. Marky Wahoo. That's where it all started, Moss. Shevchenko versus Nunez 2.
That's true. Marky Wahoo. He found the MMA holes on my drunk stream. The second one was really bad. Bad time for me.
Second Sight says, if I had $1,000 to bet, I'd buy a new guitar instead. She's going to knock out the tacos out of the other woman. Says 2 joints. Vlad says Van Shipman. LOL. Dual wielding. Marky Wahoo says take a loan out on your mortgage and put it all on Suarez.
Well, let me know in the chat. What do you rate this thing? I think I missed the ratings. I don't know.
They're not there yet.
No? Yeah, let me know. 1 out of 10 of excitement for this card. 1 out of 10 for excitement. 10 being the most excited you could ever be for a card and 1 being the least excited. What would you rate this thing before it even happens? Looking at this card, I'm going to give it a solid... You know what? I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give this card a 6, Jesse. That's what I'm going to give it.
Chris, I have 2 things.
A pay-per-view 6 and a fight night. I'm going to give it a fight night 8. That's what I'm going to give it. Okay, good.
Chris?
Yes.
I'm going to give it a pay-per-view 7.5.
Okay.
And also, Drunk Savage... I'd like to ask you, Drunk Savage's question. Should I do an erotic audiobook?
You should. You should do an erotic audiobook. We'll do it after this. Hit me with the ones if you want Jesse to do an erotic audiobook. Got a lot of... We got a 17, a 6, a 7.
I give the card a
10.
7.5 for sure.
7.78 Vlad. 7 out of 10 says Frost. 2 belts. 6.5 Fight Night. 9 says Steve Johnson. All right, so we got 100 peeps watching. Welcome to the MMA Holes, motherfuckers. Slap a like on this video, and let's get the party going with something we like to call topics. All right, maybe I'll just eat your hand every time there's topics.
I have bite marks and slobber all over my hand.
Well, that's what you get for being on the MMA Holes. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, go to the MMAHoles.com. That's where we have our topics over there. Shout out to you motherfuckers. I want to know what you're thinking. Actually, you know what we need to do?
Tell me what's on your mind.
Before we get the topics going on Fuqua Friday, this happened to me, right? Caption this O-face. 243 views and 54 people commented on this. Now I'm going to brush through this really quick. We're going to put something, actually, if we can drop it on the message board now. Who wins the wristband? We're going to do it one more time, our wristband. The funniest comment. Now I know right off the bat Steve Johnson has my vote, but I'm going to scroll through. This is my orgasm face. Okay, when I fap, right, or ejaculate.
Fap.
Or a cumin.
A cumin.
So what do you want me to
make. Put on there, who wins the wristband? Funniest comments for orgasm face, however you want to write it. All right, I'm going to scroll through real quick. We've got some pictures over here. It does look just like me. I'll give you that. Here's Steve Johnson coming in with some pictures. Steve Johnson again. Fantastic. In fact, I put one of Steve Johnson's on Instagram. He fired away. This is a personal favorite of mine. Okay. All right, check that out. All right. The MMAHoles.com. Go check it out. And if you have some last-minute captions, throw them in quickly. And I'm just going to basically just show the pictures and go through this. This is my favorite. Hilarious. I put this on Instagram. So fucking funny.
I think we all know who wins.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to show the pictures here. If you want to see the captions, there's a lot of them over there. Go over. This is a good one, too. Old Steve Johnson over there. Oh God. So pages and pages of this shit. All right. So anyway, thanks to the participants. Drop your captions in on the MMAHoles.com, and we're gonna have you vote who wins. Oh snap! All right, Jesse, what do we have?
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Mystic Mitch.
Mystic Mitch. What up, Mystic Mitch? Welcome to the MMA Holes. Welcome back, my friend. All right. So, yeah, on the MMAHoles.com, get your votes in. The person with the most amount of votes, we're just going to give you a wristband. That's what we're going to do, whoever wins. All right. So, Jesse, what do we have in the news?
In the news today, guys.
What's in the news today?
Bum, bum, bum.
We have a lot of news to get to. We're going to open up the phone lines as well. So, get ready for that.
Michael Bisping versus Dominick Cruz.
Michael Bisping versus, that's a fair matchup, right?
Yes. Being an elite MMA fighter requires an almost insane level of self-belief, but it appears former UFC bantamweight champion Dominick Cruz might have more than the average bear. Cruz made an appearance on a recent episode of the former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping's Believe You Me podcast, where the two discussed socializing sometimes after working together on Fox, and both of them revealed an interesting tidbit. Cruz and Bisping almost had their own champ versus champ fight against each other in a bar. Bisping said, quote, "I've worked with Dominick for a long time over at Fox, now with the UFC as well. Good dude, great guy, but me and Dominick have this weird love-hate relationship. There's been several times where me and Dominick, after we've worked at Fox, we've gone for a couple of drinks together. He legit, and you've got to love him for this, he legit thinks he can kick my ass. And every time we get into a slight difference, because Dominick's very opinionated, we often differ in opinions, and he wants to get physical. He wants to throw down. He does this all the time. We were once out in Hollywood. I can't even remember. He had many shots of tequila, as I did, and something happened, and he was like, 'You want to punch me right now? Don't you? You want to punch me?' It was like that scene in Step Brothers, and I'm like, no. And he says, 'Go on, motherfucker, swing a shot. By the time you swing on me, I'll have hit you in the face 6-7 times. You won't be able to touch me.' I'm like, 'What are you talking about, Dominick? I'm not going to punch you.' And then my older brother, who had just gotten off the plane from England, who was very inebriated due to the tequila and flight, and he's like, 'Whoa, stop, guys, don't fight. That's just an average night out with me and Dominick.' Cruz tells things a little differently, though he agrees that they were both drinking and he was talking trash, according to Bisping. Bisping was the one who initiated the physical stuff and then took it out on his brother instead. Needless to say, there are two very different opinions on how this showdown goes down, but it has happened more than once, and it is a very interesting big man versus little man complex.
Yeah, someone in the chat says, Drunk Savage said it. Cruz seems like an angry drunk. He does, right? I get that. And I met Dominick Cruz. He has like a resting bitch face in person. Nice guy, real nice guy. You can check out our picture at the MMA Holes on Instagram. But yeah, he seems like the type of person. No, I can get it. Like, first of all, there is tension. There's clear tension between him and Bisping, and it's got to be hilarious. Now, what's the deal? Bisping knocking out his brother? Like, what's the deal with that shit?
So Cruz says that Bisping's brother stepped into the situation trying to convince them not to fight, and Bisping knocked out his brother, knocked him flat on his ass, completely knocked him out, lights out. Bisping, on the other hand, says, no, it was just a tap. And then Cruz comes back and said, well, that tap put him flat on his ass. So,
conflicting stories. Who do you believe, Dominick Cruz or Michael Bisping? Thought it was an interesting one over there. It's probably like a chihuahua.
The story.
It's like a chihuahua and a fucking what's it? I don't know, a Rottweiler going at it.
It's interesting because Cruz is so tiny compared to Bisping.
And he's still talking shit.
Yeah.
He's still saying that he can get a bunch of shots in before. I mean,
you gotta have confidence. That's all you need.
I guess a fighter is a fighter, right? No matter how big you are, you can think you could win every fight, right? But Dominick Cruz versus Michael Bisping.
You're gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
I like how Bisping victimizes himself in the situation, yet picks fights with non-MMA fighters while drunk like edgy bra. Dumb British cunt.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, Michael Bisping does have a habit of doing that. Thank you, Vlad, for the donation over there. Let me know in the chat who you think wins that one. My friends are having me in a group text.
It's like it's nonstop over here.
They have me in a group text.
One right after another. His phone hasn't stopped the whole entire show.
Oh my God, what are we doing?
Ridiculous.
Anyway,
mute it.
This is how you know my friends don't watch the show. right? We have 90 people watching
maybe
right
they
now.
do and they just
None
want
of them
some
are my friends.
attention.
So I'm just going to shut my phone off. And thank you guys for interrupting and not
Bye,
participating.
friends.
All right. What else do we have in the news? You can check us out on Podbean as well to listen to the audio version of this show. It is wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right. What else we got, Jess?
Bellator's Michael Chandler is unapologetically in it for the money. When former Bellator champ Michael Chandler re-signed with the promotion recently, there were many people happy to hear the news, but just as many groans. A large number of fight fans had hoped that Chandler, who was widely considered as the best lightweight outside of the UFC, would sign with MMA's worldwide leader. Even though it had been reported that Chandler had entered free agency, not quite true since he never reached his non-exclusive window. A deal with the UFC never came close, not after Bellator executives reached into their corporate pockets with an offer that pays him, he says, quote, double or triple what the average top 10 fighters in the UFC make. After that, he says re-signing with Bellator became an easy decision.
Yeah, that was the right one. I think we all agree. We all concur. As interested as we were to see Michael Chandler fight in the UFC, Bellator is the place to be for him. And what about Eddie Alvarez? What's the deal with him? It looks like Eddie Alvarez, he might go back to Bellator.
Bum, bum, bum.
See another fight between those two. Let me know if you want to see that in the chat. Jess, what else is in the news?
Jessica Rose Clark versus Andrea Lee announced for UFC on Fox 31. A pair of popular flyweights are coming to Brewtown. Jessica Rose Clark and Andrea Lee will face off at UFC Fox on Fox 31 December 15th in Milwaukee. UFC announced on Tuesday on Twitter both are ranked 125-pound fighters trying to carve out a niche in the budding division. UFC on Fox 31 does not yet have.
Can you tell the rest of the story
a main
sexy?
Event.
Hold on. Tell me more. Tell me in a sexy voice.
Jessica Rose Clark is 9-5 with one no contest. She's coming off a unanimous decision loss to Jessica I at UFC Singapore in June.
Yes.
Prior to that,
I'm almost
the
there.
Australian native was on a 3-fight winning streak,
Keep
including
going.
a victory over Paige Van Zandt.
A cumin.
Clark, 30, now trains at Syndicate MMA
Please more.
in Las Vegas.
20 likes.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. I hope the dislikes die of leprosy.
All right. So Andrea Lee, who loves black people, is fighting the Australian, right? And I think Jessica Rose Clark is very attractive. Andrea Lee could come across as attractive to some. I'm not into Andrea Lee, to be honest.
I would just like to point out for Andrea Lee, because I know the question's going to be there, the warrant is still out for her husband's arrest. Still.
Who do you think is going to beat her hard, give her a better beating, Jessica Rose Clark or her ex-husband?
That's a good question. Well, Andrea Lee did say that she is going to keep her focus on her MMA career following the warrant being issued, but we'll see. This will be the one fight that decides whether or not she's actually focused.
I like this fight because you got Andrea Lee, who has got a lot of promise moving up, and Jessica Rose Clark coming off of an L, right? This is a good matchup between these two. I like this fight. This is a fire fight over here. I'm in. I'm really in on this one. So looking forward to this. Jess, what else do we have?
Devin Clark versus Alexander Rakic announced for UFC 231 as well.
Yes.
Yes, he will look to stop the streaking Alexander this winter. On Tuesday, the UFC announced a light heavyweight bout between Clark and Rakic for UFC 231, which takes place at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto on December 8th. And a main event has also yet to be announced for UFC 221, but a featherweight bout between Max Holloway and Brian Ortega is rumored to be in discussion.
Rakic, as the Kevin from Chicago says.
Thank you very much for correcting me.
Kevin, hang in there, my friend.
I was close.
Hang in there. We're going to open up the phone lines after topics over here, so I'm sure you have plenty to say. But friend of the show, Devin Clark, who says he'll come back on, we'll get him on soon, says he's got to fight. So let's see. Out of Jackson Wink, I do want to speak to him about the whole Jackson Wink situation. Congratulations to getting another fight. Now, let's get another win in the books. Jess, what else we got?
Flash Entertainment sells its 10% of the UFC to Endeavor. Bum, bum, bum.
What is Flash Entertainment? Is that a
Flash
strip club?
Entertainment, which purchased 10% of the UFC in 2010 for what was reported at the time as between $150 million to $175 million, has sold its stock to Endeavor. The deal was reported Monday by Arabian Business with a quote from Flash CEO John Licorice, a source
His
at...
name is John Licorice?
Yes, sir. A source at UFC confirmed to MMA Fighting that the story was accurate. No sale price was released for the purchase. Endeavor had purchased a majority interest in the UFC in the summer of 2016 from Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, the majority owners outbidding a number of investment firms and television networks, with a sale price giving the company a valuation of $4 billion. At the time, Dana White had noted that Flash did not sell its stock, but expected that at some point it would happen. This goes to show there are many changes being made within the UFC right now.
Well, more interesting to me is what nationality is Licorice? Like, what nationality is that? Right?
I have no idea.
What's his name? John Licorice? What's his name? Flash Licorice? No, Flash is the company.
Yeah, it's John Licorice.
I knew a dog named Licorice once, and the dog died of a tumor. The dog had a tumor, right? And it was sticking out, right? It wasn't a tumor. I'm sorry. It was like a blood vessel that was sticking out of his side. It was a nice dog. And one day, the dog's blood thingy, whatever that was sticking out, got caught in the cage. Popped open, blood squirting all over the place. The dog just bled to death in the cage.
That's disgusting.
And then my aunt came home and found the dog in a puddle of blood. The dog's name was Licorice. Licorice.
What is wrong with you?
If you're watching this in doggy heaven, I miss you. And watch out for the cages up there, because I don't want you to have a repeat of what happened the last time.
This is disturbing.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful.
Rest in peace, Licorice. Can I get a rest in peace, Licorice?
Guys, come on.
It's a true story, by the way. It's a horrible story.
So why?
Horrible story. Yeah. But you said Licorice, and it reminded me of my aunt's dog.
You just talked about your aunt's dog bleeding to death in a cage by itself.
Well, listen, it gets real here on the MMA-Holes. It's like, oof, oof, oof.
That's not funny. What is the matter with you? Stop it.
All right. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic, and that is a true story. And I hope my at least I know my aunt is not watching this, and if she is, she's probably gonna murder me. All right. What else we got in the news?
Oh my God, I'm gonna puke.
Wonderful.
Jon Jones says he wants 2 more fights versus Daniel Cormier to, quote, crush his confidence. Last July, following a USADA suspension for testing positive for a banned substance, Jon Jones returned to the UFC to rematch Daniel Cormier, knocking out Cormier in the 3rd round and reclaiming the light heavyweight title. It was a short-lived victory, though, as just days later it was revealed Jones had once again failed a USADA drug test. He was stripped of the title. His win was overturned to a no contest, and since then he has been hanging in limbo waiting for his sentence from USADA. But Jones seems hopeful that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and the former UFC light heavyweight champion is optimistic that he will be back soon. Speaking recently, Jones denied any intentional wrongdoing and says he hopes he has proved that well enough to earn a reduced sentence, saying, quote, as far as the whole steroid situation, I never did them. I do believe it was found in my system, a very small amount, metabolite, but I never intentionally took any performance enhancers, and I've been working my tail off for the last year to try and prove that. Right now, we are still waiting for what they are going to do. I'm hoping for a reduced sentence from 4 years, but I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just staying faithful and trying to do the right things and just focusing on the things I can control while waiting. While Jones has been stuck on the sidelines, Cormier has kept busy defending his light heavyweight title with the 2nd round TKO of Volkan Ozdemir, and then moving back up to heavyweight, knocking out Stipe Miocic to become the first man to hold the heavyweight and light heavyweight belts simultaneously. Cormier has not spoken on this.
Now, this man, who we spoke about a little in the beginning, a little in the middle, and now, this man over here is repulsive, right? But we need him. We need him bad, Jesse, because we need him to fill this spot over here. And I feel like we're like selling our soul with the devil to make this man fill the spot he annoys the fuck out of me. It sucks, man. The guy he's such a talented athlete. He's still young in the game. He's beat one of the best and multiple fighters that have fantastic resumes. Easily, Jon Jones, you could argue, is the greatest of all time. But he is a cheater, and he has been guilty, right? So, like, are we sick of this guy, or are we not? Like, I guess we're not if we're begging him to come back and save UFC 230, right? But I feel like, listen, regardless, I'm going to root against him. But we need it. We just need it. So are we wrong for wanting him to come back, Jesse? Are we horrible people for wanting Jon Jones to come back? Bah, 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 80s fist grab cam.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Let me know in the chat if we are. What do we got going on in the chat? 83 people watching the cringiest MMA show on YouTube and on Podbean. Shout out to our sponsors, Duplex Entertainment, TygerLyfe Energy, and ARN Insulation. We'll be live reacting to UFC 228 this weekend, Food Court Friday on Friday. We need some more likes over here. 81 people watching and only 65 likes. Let's have a fucking like party. What's going on in the chat?
Okay, Agent loves the BBC. Mason says the dude who donated the anonymous John Stats just quoted Chael Sonnen. Stanley Moon says, haha, we know real fighters hate Juicehead, says John Hart. Is this Blues Clues, says Pro Tool 44. Greg Odin Blaze says, why can't white people do handshakes? Van Shipman says, pretty sweet grab. Steve Johnson's laughing at Almond Bro saying, yep, bad guys are always the best. Mason says, rest in peace. Pose Resurrected says, M. Night Shyamalan. Stanley Moon says, I liked bitches. Drunk Savage says, Chael lit Jones on fire with his tweets.
Yeah, Chael did a good job over there. He kept going on Jon Jones. So shout out to Chael Sonnen for still staying relevant. He has he's on ESPN, he's got a podcast, and he's fighting Fedor. So this guy is all over the goddamn place. He is not going away anytime soon. So shout out to Chael Sonnen. Jess, what else we have in the news?
All right. Sage Northcutt.
Hey, Mr. Jesse.
Yes.
Hi.
Is now a free agent exploring options. Bum, bum, bum.
That flew under the radar, right?
Super Sage Northcutt has been making waves since he was first discovered on Dana White's Looking for a Fight nearly 4 years ago. The 22-year-old welterweight, sometimes lightweight, golden boy alternates between receiving fan adulation and praise to hardcore criticism over his purses, which were last publicly disclosed as $60K in November 2017. Following UFC Fight Night Poirier versus Pettis, that number may not seem like much, but there are plenty of fighters on the UFC roster that don't make those figures, including Henry Cejudo, who somehow agreed to take a pay cut in his bout against Demetrius Johnson. Northcutt fought out his UFC contract last month against Zach Atau.
I sure did.
Is now a free agent. This was a wise move on Northcutt's part, as it gives him options and he's looking at them earnestly. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Sage detailed some of the things he's discovered on the free agency market, saying, quote, for the UFC to re-sign me, I think that would be something that's great. I don't see why they wouldn't try to offer something, so I'm just waiting to find out. But I think me being young, I've only had 1 year total of actual MMA training, if you look at it, so I consider my MMA training started the day I stepped foot in Uriah Faber's gym.
Do you want to see Sage Northcutt, also known as TRT Zach Morris, go back to the UFC or go to another organization like Bellator? Let me know in the chat where you would like Super Sage to go. I don't think the UFC is anywhere near letting this guy go.
I agree.
Right?
I completely agree. He is too much of a cash cow, or he will be too much of a cash cow for them to let him go anytime soon. So,
you think he works out, Jesse?
No.
I don't think so either. I think it's genetics. Let's see what the chat says about Sage. I'm interested to see what they have to say over there. 68 likes.
Mystic Mitch says, yeah, didn't he kill himself? Pro Tool 44 says Sage is going to heaven, you know. He is lucky.
I sure am.
Wonderful,
Sean
wonderful.
Hart says, I think so, Mitch. Mason says, they won't. Sage is too young. They want a 40-year-old on TRT. Stanley Moon says, Sage reminds me of my old dog. Sage would do pretty good at Bellator, says Drunk Savage. Go to Hollywood, says Pulse Resurrected. If I was Scotty Coker, I'd offer Sage $120K to show, says Brian Ridger. Mason says he already makes that. Drunk Savage says Sage is Dana's Tone E. Greg Golden Blaze says he's sexy. Sage with a clown face is Stewie motherfucking Griffin. Gay Agent says, I want to watch Sage gasp for air while swallowing me down.
Let's leave it on that. All right. Thank you, Gay Agent, and everyone who is chatting along live on YouTube. If you're listening on Podbean, well, that's where our chat room is, live on YouTube. You can check out our website, YouTube, themmaholes.com, where we are reading our news stories. We're pulling them from all over the interwebs, finding the latest and greatest in UFC news, MMA news, and all things related. Jesse, what else do we have going on? We'll open up phone lines very shortly. I want to know what you're thinking about Jon Jones. Is he coming back? Is he not? Let me know about UFC 228. Excited or nah? Darren Till, Woodley, what else we got?
Uriah Faber, Sakuraba return to action this October on UFC Fight Pass.
He just couldn't stay away, huh, Uriah?
All right. Quintet 3 will feature 4 grappling teams matching up in singles competition, with a decision being decided by way of submission or time limit elimination. The 2 winning semifinal teams move on to compete in a finale match. The squads are shaping up. Team Sakuraba is Kazushi Sakuraba, Josh Barnett, Marcos Souza, Roberto Souza, and to be announced, Team Alpha Male, Uriah Faber, Dustin Akbari, and 3 to be announced, Team Polaris, Craig Jones, Gregor Gracie, Marcin Held, Dan Strauss, and to be announced, and Team 10th Planet, Gio Martinez, Richie Martinez, PJ Barch, Adam Saknoff, and Amir Alam.
I tell you what, I would actually watch this. I actually have a little interest. I'm not going to stop my plans for this. What night is this on? Did they say on there? It's October 5th. It's right in front of me. October 5th. It's a Friday night. If there's no Bellator going on, I'd watch the shit, right? Unless it's happening during the day. Wait, where is this at? Is this Russia? Some shit?
Yes, in Russia.
So it's in Russia. Yeah, I should have been paying attention. I'm too busy jerking off over here. So in Russia, let me know in the chat, would you watch this? Do you give a fuck about Uriah Faber coming back? You had to think that Uriah wanted to compete in some sort of way, and this is a smart way for him to do it. Jesse almost fell on the floor. Almost, damn, I was too. Damn,
you're always too slow.
Almost did it. Let me know yes or no if you would like to see this ish. What else do we have in the news? JBH.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Yes.
Says
sexy.
He wants MMA fighters to make their fair share. Hall of Fame boxer Oscar De La Hoya provided insight into his recent move to promoting mixed martial arts, telling ESPN's Ariel Helwani on Tuesday that low fighter pay, quote, makes me sick to my stomach. De La Hoya says that he wants to make sure the fighters are treated fairly, making sure that they have an outlet to make as much money as possible and to find the next superstars in the sport. Golden Boy MMA will host its first event November 24th at the Forum in Inglewood, California, when Tito Ortiz squares off with Chuck Liddell for the 3rd time in their careers. Liddell won both fights by knockout. Liddell and Ortiz are 48 and 43 respectively. The upcoming bout, featuring one of the sport's most intense rivalries, will be on pay-per-view for a price still to be determined. De La Hoya said both Liddell and Ortiz are going to make the most money they have made in their careers. I know that as a fact. Both fighters will be included in all revenue shares for the event. De La Hoya said, which does not happen in other promotions like the UFC or Bellator. He said, quote, it's a big game changer for both guys. What fighter in the UFC can say that other than maybe Conor McGregor? I do have to say, in the beginning, I did criticize MMA. The truth of the matter is, I did feel threatened.
You gonna wrap one on one shoulder?
You gonna wrap
the other on the other shoulder? You're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
Mystic, did you just say jerking off? You got yourself a used ficus plant on the way to join my couch club.
It's on its way.
Harvey.
Thank you, Harvey
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
You are the best.
I think a nice ficus would look good. We have 2 empty sides over here. We're going to add some end tables, perhaps some plant action going on over there. So there's some additions. If you have some wonderful, wonderful art, well, down below is an address. You could send us your art, and we'll throw it up on this wall over here. But Oscar De La Hoya, Jesse, I'm actually pumped up about this, and I like what he's saying. I like that Oscar. I'm not pumped up about Chuck Tito. Again, I'm not pumped up about
it's
that.
Like, what is the fourth fight?
Yeah. I listen. I mean, maybe Tito happens to have his number this time around. You know, on the 20th attempt. But I mean, that fight is not alluring to me. But the fact that Oscar De La Hoya wants to pay these guys boxing money, right? MMA fighters are very underpaid unless you're a Conor McGregor or these superstars, in quotes, air quotes. And boxing fighters, these guys are getting some legit coin. I mean, look at Logan Paul. God knows what the fuck he made just for a YouTube amateur boxing event. You know, he probably made way more money than any fighter on UFC 228 is even going to make. Who knows? I mean, what do you think Logan Paul made? I don't know what he made on that thing, but it was such a circus, but it was boxing, right? Oscar De La Hoya bringing in a whole nother organization over here to combat against Bellator and the UFC, something that can compete, can be something very interesting. And competition is good because that means everyone around them has to step up their game. So I love what Oscar De La Hoya is doing over here. I'm not a big Oscar fan. Even when he was a boxer, I wasn't a huge fan of him. You know, I don't know. He didn't do it for me. But it's not because he's Mexican. I love Mexicans. But Oscar De La Hoya, I think he's doing some interesting stuff over here with mixed martial arts. He's already doing it with boxing, and now he's trying to go the other way. Do you think he's going to be successful is the question. Will Oscar De La Hoya be successful? Yes or no with mixed martial arts? Jesse, what do you think? Will he be successful with the mixed martial arts? That face has happened a lot tonight. On Podbean, you don't see that face, but you could see it on YouTube. So is that a yes? Sure. All right, so you think he will be successful. Chat room, what do you say? Let's know in the chat. 90 people still hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
That's right. Even, hey, shout out to Ross. I just had to time him or delete him. Shout out to Ross for his consistency. I do appreciate it. Donate your thumbs down and get the fuck out of here, you little fuck. All right, go ahead, Jesse. What do we got now?
Dennis Vidanzo says, hey guys. Pulse Resurrected says, how do you say no in Spanish? D. Borras says, who will Jesse brain fart? Gay Agent says, nothing is nicer than a nice plump ass at the end of the night. Boss Kogar says, Chuck and Tito combine for... I missed it, sorry. Greg and Blaze says deleted Ross, whereas Ross says Isaiah Moore. Stewie is laughing in the chat. He'll be like Affliction, says Harvey Weinstein. Jesse looks a bit wasted, that's what I say, says Stanley Moon.
I should make a Come On Ross donation, right? To rival the Come On Ronda donation. No?
Yeah.
Let me know in the chat if you'd like to see that with the ones.
Pro Tool says, I've seen that face in the forest in the Shire. Steve Johnson's laughing. Stewie says, Ross the goat. Drunken Savage says, rest in peace, Ross. Isaiah Moore says, I was sexting and missed Ross. Ann H is laughing in the chat. Complex Black Widow Spider donates via Super Chat.
Ah, Super Chat coming in via Complex Dynex. 70 in the likes.
Super
Flying
Chat.
in Super Chat. Hi. Complex.
It's only me, Chris, but BLT I decline. Thanks, though. You just trying to locate me. The opposite effect happens. I'm aware of the Discord jive talk about me.
What?
So,
what was he talking
Complex
about?
is Tone.
Okay. Yeah, well,
and
no, I think we figured that out.
he doesn't want the wristband.
All right, so you're declining the wristband? Okay. Well, BLT, let me know who else you want to give that thing to. And what was he talking about? The Discord jive talk. What the fuck is he talking about?
So, there's a Discord jive talk now.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell's going on.
I never know what's going on in the community.
You got Pulse, who's like cancer in the Discord sometimes, you know, and he starts some shit. I saw he DM me. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we for? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah, I DM'd you earlier.
I don't even know what's going on. Like he's acting like I know what the fuck he's talking about. And I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? We're grown adults.
And then you've got our lovely gaming character.
On? Anyway, Tony, thank you for the donation. Do appreciate that. And we're not looking for your address. What's going on? All right, what else do we got? Jesus Christ. All right, what else do we have in the news?
All right. Edson Barbosa versus Dan Hooker is booked for UFC on Fox 31. Dan Hooker has been granted his wish of a top-tier opponent as he is set to face 6th-ranked Edson Barbosa at UFC Milwaukee on December 15th. The New Zealand Herald first reported the news Wednesday after confirming the lightweight clash with the UFC. Barbosa is 19-6-0 and is coming off of 2 one-sided losses. The Brazilian is known for his dynamic kicking arsenal, but displayed in his wheel kick knockout of Terry Edom at UFC 142. Hooker is 17-7-0 and has been in sensational form since moving to lightweight, claiming 4 stoppage wins in as many outings in the bracket. The Hangman went 3-3 as the UFC featherweight before taking the advice of City Kickboxing head coach Eugene Behrman and moving up to lightweight. He debuted in the weight class with a vicious knee KO of Ross Pearson, followed by a submission win over highly touted Britt Mark Diakese. Diakese.
All right, so Edson Barbosa.
You know, that's the millionth time I've said Diakese, and I know it's Diakese.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's people
time.
announce it all different ways. I just say Diakese. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? But or Dyke ass. You can call him Dyke ass. All right, you can do that.
Wonderful.
Edson Barbosa versus Dan Hooker. That's a firefight over there. How about Dan Hooker getting a little bump? And Edson needs a win in the worst way, so I'm in. I'm in for that fight. Right off the bat, man, yeah, Barbosa's in a little skid, but look who he's fought, right? I can't really hate on Barbosa. That's a good fight over there. Looking forward to that one. What else we have in the news? And we're going to open up the phone line. TGIW, motherfuckers.
I got to say, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
Super chat.
Yo, Jared back in this bitch. Super chat's on fire.
Have a bite of my sub with extra mayo, you fag sandwich.
Jared, how dare you? How dare you? You keep your mayo away from me, you goddamn pedophile. You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Thank you for the donation. What do you have to say, Jesse?
This article is not on the website. My apologies.
Okay. All right, what do we got?
Owen Roddy is unsure if Conor McGregor retires after UFC 229, saying it depends on what fights are available. So first I have to ask you before I read you this article, do you think Conor McGregor is retiring after UFC 229?
No, I think no.
No, I will read you what is happening here. Ready? A brief retirement in 2016. So before 229, between the stages of 223 and 229, Conor McGregor got into some trouble with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Went on a brief retirement, quote unquote, or legal matters. Comes back for UFC 229 to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. One of the men tasked with preparing the Notorious for the T-Mobile tussle, Owen Roddy, admitted that he is unsure whether the Dubliner will walk away from the sport following the fight. This is what he said. I don't know. I don't think he will retire. I don't look into the future to see what's happening. Conor's mentality hasn't changed at all, so I don't know. Roddy believes that McGregor's decision will rest on what type of fights are available to him. The SBG Charlestown head coach thinks that the availability of super fights and the fans will dictate whether the Notorious fights again.
All right, let me know in the chat. Now, is that the last story over there, GBH?
That is the last story.
The last story of TGIW. Thank you for joining us, but it is not over. We have 71 likes. Make sure you slap a like over there. 90 people watching. Thank you for joining us tonight on the MMA-Holes. If you want to sub, drop it over there. We'll see you for a live reaction. UFC 228 and Fuqua Friday is this Friday as well. But 3 things I want to talk about. Actually, maybe even more. Whatever you want to talk about. But we'll start with this. Is Conor McGregor going to retire after the Khabib fight? Jon Jones. Is Jon Jones going to be fighting at UFC 230? It looks like he's definitely coming back, but the question is when. And if he is fighting at UFC 230, Madison Square Garden, headlining this fight card with a blank main event, who will he be fighting? Make sure you go check out Triton Fights over here. Chris Machi was on the show. Triton Fights 9 is on the 14th of this month. So check that out. If you missed the interview, you can run that back over there. And let me know what you think about this card that's happening. UFC 228, Tyron Woodley versus Darren Till. I'm going to open up the phone lines, but before I do that, well, I'm going to open them up now. Jesse, what's going on in that chat room?
Artem will take on the mantle of king when Conor retires, says a Drunk Savage. David Flores Jr. says, Fook McGregor, complex Black Widow spider, says Isaiah, contact the local urologist and stop raging at me. Steve Johnson's laughing in the chat. Ann H says, BLT, you get the wristband now. Tone E refused it. Greg Odom Blaze says, JBH has been a great acquisition for the show. Great job snatching her from free agency, Chris.
Thank you.
Second Sight.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Says, nobody wants to see Floyd versus Conor unless it's MMA. Steve Johnson says, Michael Jackson, LOL. Almond Bro is laughing in the chat. Gay Agent says, I wish I could have slept with Lord Michael. Isaiah Moore says, I'm your urologist and your daddy. Sean Hart says, a cumin. Brian Reggie says, if Conor beats the communists, he will give up the belt to box Floyd again. Complex Black Widow Spider says, Isaiah,
Some people are saying that. I've seen it. I've heard Ken
it is
say
the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
It's not happening.
It's the dumbest. What?
I think.
What?
Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Is this a?
No, no.
No.
Go ahead. You can rant.
Oh, you want to rant about it?
It's ridiculous.
No, okay. Go ahead.
It's ridiculous.
It's time to rant. It's time to rant.
Jesse.
Gonna rant to piss people off. It's time to rant. It's time to rant. Get ready for rant.
Super chat.
Saved by the super chat.
Mexico. Diaz Bros. Jon Jones. JBH loves my pizza.
JBH loves Jose's Pizza. What do you think about Jose's Pizza?
I think it's fantastic.
All right, Jesse. Fucking rant. It's time. The first ever JBH rant.
Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather is not going to happen should Conor McGregor win against Khabib Nurmagomedov. It is ridiculous. First of all, Floyd Mayweather is in absolutely zero shape to be fighting in MMA. I don't care how many training posts he puts on Instagram. It's not going to fucking happen. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Second, should Conor and Floyd fight, Conor would massacre Floyd in a quick second. Floyd does not belong in the octagon. If Conor beats Khabib, I could either see retirement or a better option fight for him later down the road. But it's not going to be versus Floyd Mayweather.
All right, there goes Jesse's first ever rant over here. Live on the MMA-Holes. Jesse, you know what I give that rant? This is what I rate it. Iggy's fist grab cam.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right. Phone lines are now open. 516-522-0267. We're going to take a couple of calls here. We want to hear what you think. Jesse's stealing my face now.
What do you think? I know. So Chris has been... I'm going to tell the story behind this real quick while we wait for calls.
Sure.
Chris does this thing. Like, even when we're not on air, he just goes...
Oh, say by the bell.
And I'm mocking it until I get it. Like, perfect. I've almost got it.
I don't know. Unknown caller, you're live in the MMA-Holes. What's your name? What's on your mind?
So, I've been watching some Woodley fights, Tyron Woodley fights, and I never seen someone so terrified of getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
People say, oh, he's so cerebral, such a smart fighter. I think the real thing is he's terrified of getting tired. He doesn't want to expend any energy. That's why he leans his ass against the cage, explodes real quick, then he puts his ass back against the cage. Because he knows if he exerts a lot of energy, he'll get whooped, like he did against Marquardt McDonald. He tries to preserve as much energy as possible. So Darren Till is going to have to put it on him early, not get caught in the first round, and he'll be good. Because all the Woodley's knockouts come in the first round. If it goes past the first round, Till is good.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
And I left a post on your website. You got to check out that post on your website.
All right. There is. The infamous Kevin from Chicago over there calling in. Tyron Woodley. He does get tired. You know, even though he said he doesn't get tired, yeah, he does. He does. We've seen him gas out and try to conserve that energy. Yeah, I'm not buying it. He said he threw something on the website. Did I pass it? Hold on. Where is he? Kevin from Chicago. Here we go. All right, so Kevin Chicago dropped this on the MMAHoles.com. Jesse, what do we got over here? Colby Covington.
Been on the Covington train since something. Colby Covington posted, no, someone, I'm assuming this is Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kevin says, wrestling, Covington, all day, every day. Kevin, I bet you even grind out Hector Lombard. Covington, of course. Kevin, his judo is nasty, but you can out-grapple him? Covington, judo is upper body, but he does not know how to defend guys who get to his legs. Example, Yashin Okami.
There you go. Yeah, Kevin from Chicago harassing Colby Covington over there. Look at that, a little inside fact. Thank you, Kevin from Chicago, dropping in on the MMA-Holes.com. If you want to do that, the message board is right here, and you can be a part of this. Right now, who's getting the wrist? Who's winning? Steve Johnson and Michael Anzalone says, Jesus Christ, guys, vote. Yeah, what the fuck? All right, fuck it. I'm just going to give it to Steve Johnson. I don't give a shit. The MMA-Holes.com. All right, let's open up those phone lines again. I saw another caller coming in. 516-522-0267. Let me know what you think about this weekend's fights. UFC 228. Let me know what you think about Jon Jones. Is he coming back for UFC 230? Will he save the card? Do you care? Do you not care? Who will he fight?
I care.
Do you?
I do.
How much do you care?
I care so much that if Darren Till wins, I will personally propose to you on air.
What? 210, you're live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Boy, you know who it is.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Jose.
Motherfucking A, bro.
What's up, Jose?
I just wanted to say hello to Mr. Moss and to JBH.
Oh, my God.
Acknowledge her. Holy shit, she's alive.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He just said hi to me.
It's amazing.
Oh, my God.
You know, hey, you know what? I want to fucking come on here and do a rant. What the fuck is wrong with these pussy-ass people that are watching this show and getting this amazing fucking content and not subscribing? We see you fucking just coming over here. You can't get this greatness for free.
That's right.
Drop a fucking sub. We got to hit 13,000. Quit playing.
Thank you, Jose. I appreciate that. All right, hung up. Look at that. Yeah, that's right. If you're not subscribed, listen to Jose. He knows what he's talking about over there, right?
Wait, can we just focus on the fact that Jose actually acknowledged my existence today?
You know, every once in a while, the Mexicans get together and unite on the MMA Holes.
It's okay. Tomorrow, or I mean, the next time we go live, he's not going to. It is what it is.
Well, yeah. All right. Actually, 13K will be this Saturday for sure. Absolutely. I cannot wait to blow past that. Pumped up to hit that 13K.
I'm so pumped.
You wet?
I'm so wet.
Soaked?
Soaked.
A cumin.
A cumin.
All right.
A cumin.
Let's take one more call. 516-522-0267. Thank you guys for joining us. We have a swole audience tonight, man. We're still at 90. If you missed Chris Machi's interview, well, Triton Fights, run it back. A little technical difficulties with Skype and Hangouts, but it came through. I came all over myself. Did you come?
So did I.
You came? We both came. Run it back and watch myself and JBH come as we spoke to Chris Machi. Awesome guy, great organization. And look, Jose got a new subscriber. Thank you, Jose. All right, here we go. Is this a knitter?
Hello, Chris and Jesse.
Yes!
Knitter!
Yes! NH, what's up?
Knitter.
And can you do me a favor before we get going with our conversation? Can you tell these motherfuckers, is 75 likes with 83 people, 85 people watching? What are they doing?
Hit the like button and sub.
That's right.
You fuckers.
And tell these people.
Oh, I love how you fuckers.
She's got an edge.
She says it like I do.
Yeah, you fuckers.
That's right.
Fuckers. You know how Chris says to Dan? He says fuck us.
Fuckers. Fuckers.
Fuckers.
But it's fuckers.
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 Fuckers. There's no R in it. And how pumped are you for this card this weekend? I mean, I got to say this. I don't think the pay-per-view is going to be through the roof, but I'm into this card. I'm digging this card. What are your thoughts about this card?
Yeah, I'm digging it too. It's just finally, he's going to fight for the belt.
Yeah, Tyron finally getting back in the cage. No one really talks about that, right? This guy, when the hell does this guy fight? He never fights, right? And now he's fighting a Cyclops.
He never fights.
Yeah, this fucking guy. Is it because he's black, Ann? Be honest.
Is what? I didn't hear you. Sorry. My phone's acting up.
Just say yes, Ann, it is.
Okay, yes, it is.
Okay, we knew it. All right, so Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. Now that the fight is only a couple of days away, who do you have in that fight?
Woodley.
Woodley. For
What?
the win. Oh my God. Do you have a finish or a
And-
decision?
I'm gonna say a decision.
All right, a decision. All right, so that's Ann H chiming in, the knitter on the MMA-Holes Live. And what do you think about Triton Fights? I wish you were on the East Coast. You would go, right? If you were on the East Coast?
Yes, I would. Yeah.
Be a good time. We're going to fly you.
It'll be fun.
You know, when the MMA-Holes make it big, right, one day in 30 years, when we make it big, we're going to fly you over here, and we're going to go to Triton Fights together. And I'm going to sit on your lap. As long as Mike's...
Well, okay, that would be...
Wait a minute.
As long as Mike's okay with that.
That would be...
Is Mike cool with that? I'm just going to sit on your lap, and you tell me stories while the fight's going on.
Is Jesse cool with that? What do you mean, Mike?
Would you be cool
Listen,
with that?
Ann, you don't know how much I love you. I would go lesbian for you, Ann. So sit on. You know what? You and Chris can have your guys' little. What do you call it?
Sex.
Endeavors.
Oh.
You guys have all the endeavors
sorry.
that you want because I love you, Ann. And we'll have a threesome one day.
Whoa.
You, Chris, and I.
How about that? No, Mike's got to be involved too. We got
A
to.
foursome.
I'm gonna high five Mike.
You, Mike, me, and Chris. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like a little orgy we have going on.
Mm-hmm. And I have to say this: you are the strongest female. I mean, besides JBH, but JBH is on this side of the camera. On the other side of the camera, you happen to be the queen of the chat, the queen of the phone lines, the queen. I don't know. I guess of the MMA-Holes because it's a community, right? You are out there inside this world, and you are standing strong in front of a dominant 90. It's probably 99% male audience over here. How do you do this each and every time we go live?
I just do. I just have fun. I don't take anything too seriously in the chat. It's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
I just love everybody, and I love MMA, and I know it's mostly guys in the MMA and all the different podcasts, whatever, YouTube, everything. It's mostly all guys, but hey.
But those guys love you.
Women love MMA too, you know.
They do. What do you say to the women that watch this show? And there are 85 people watching. What do you say to the women that do watch the show that are afraid to jump into that chat or get on the phone lines?
Just because you have a pussy doesn't mean you need to be one.
Whoa, easy. That's terrible. It's not going to get him in there. And could you believe this woman? She's out of her mind. It's because she has a shirt with my face on it over there. Oh, we got a donation coming in.
Don't be scared of the chat. Just remember, it's just chat, and this is the way they are. As in calling in, well, that's, they want to. That's the problem. They don't want to.
That's right, Ann. Hold on. Super chat. Jared back.
And have a sub with extra mayo on me.
Oh, Jared says have a sub with extra mayo on him. I don't know if he wants you to eat it off of him or what, but
I'll eat it off Jared.
I don't like mayo. I like Miracle Whip.
Oh, okay.
Ann, you don't like mayo? Ann is perfect for our orgy. She doesn't like mayo.
All right.
But Miracle Whip. I like Miracle Whip.
Oh, Ann, before we let you go, what did you think of Jesse's donation song? Did you get a chance to hear that?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
It
what
was
do you rate it?
good.
You thought it was good? Don't lie.
I liked it. Yes.
It's okay,
Yes,
Ann. You don't have
that's
to
good. I liked
preserve
it.
my feelings. It's totally cool.
Yeah, you sing good.
Okay.
I
Thank you.
can't sing for shit, so.
Nah,
I
me
think
neither.
you can. And
Jesse's rooting you on.
I think you can.
All right. And thank you so much for calling. And we'll see you in a couple days. We'll be live on Friday and Saturday. So if you miss your Friday, we'll see you Saturday and vice versa, whatever.
And so on and so forth.
Are you
Yep,
watching the
at least
fights at the
Saturday.
casino? Oh, I didn't answer my
At
question.
least Saturdays. Yeah, the fights at the casino.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'll be watching them.
All right. Well, win some money big. By the way, we discovered blackjack. Well, I've played blackjack many of times, but there's a casino close to us, and we play the electronic blackjack. And this is what we do, Ann. Let me explain this before we go off air, right? We go there with $20, right? Big 20. Big whopping 20. Every once in a blue moon, not often, because you don't want to gamble too much because it's bad for you. Gambling is horrible for you. But every once in a blue moon, we'll take a 20 spot. And we'll go over to the blackjack, electronic blackjack, and we play 2 hands. And we'll win about 20, 40, maybe even $80. And then we leave. And we're there for literally like 5 minutes and we leave, right? Is that a degenerate move or is that a smart move?
That's a smart move.
Okay. So there we go. Right?
That's a smart move.
There we go.
That's what we do. We'll put in less than that, though.
Big money.
We'll put in like $5.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be throwing $20 in there for sure. And then, it's funny. Like, if we lose, we haven't lost yet. But if we lose the 20, I'm probably going to cry myself to sleep at that night because we are broke. So that's probably not a smart move. So, Ann, yeah, maybe we'll stop. All right,
Gambling is bad for you. Do not gamble, people.
Trust me, I know. And what do you like to play at the casino? Do you play at all?
Just machines like you. Just put the money in there.
Okay.
Not good with card games. I lose.
No, you don't like card games. All right, well.
I just go, hit the buttons.
Yeah. All right, Ann. Thank you.
That way.
You just hit the buttons and just keep your fingers crossed. Sure. All right, so, Ann, thank you for the call. We do appreciate it. Win big this weekend, and we'll probably see you on Friday, I guess.
Yeah. Love you guys.
All right, Ann.
Love you, Ann.
Love you too, Ann. We love you long time. All right, that was Ann H., the knitter of the chat room. She's wonderful, wonderful, 7% strong, rocking that shirt. What do you think about Ann H.?
I love Ann.
She's a beautiful
I'm
soul.
in a great mood tonight, guys. I feel great.
Maybe I'll get my...
Calm down.
My dinner?
You already had dinner.
Oh.
I already made you dinner.
Head?
No. Maybe. Yes.
Check us out on Podbean if you want to listen to the audio version of this. Thank you for our donations tonight. You guys are all wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
One more like over here, please, so we can play the 20 more like song. Be annoying and do it. Do it right now. We're going to read a couple of comments from the chat, and then we're going to wind this thing down. TGIW, motherfuckers, thanks to Chris Machi for coming on the show tonight, talking about Triton Fights number 9. And, Jesse, what do we got? Last words in that chat room.
I love everyone, says Gay Agent. Moss is getting that dick wet tonight, says Demon Irons. Dick's out for Ann, says Drunk Savage. Pulse Resurrection says she was going to do that anyway. Complex Black Widow Spider says, Gay Agent, don't listen to Steve. You hate me, Gay Agent, says Two Joints. Pro Tool says, give him feet, the arches. Head, says Ann H.
Yes!
She sucks a mean pod bean, says D. Boris.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you for watching. 20 likes. 20 likes. One more time. 20 likes. Die of leprosy. You guys are all wonderful, wonderful in that motherfucking chat tonight. You were great, actually. All of you, each and every one of you are fantastic. Each and every one of you are
wonderful, wonderful.
Jesse?
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.